Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Seitzeh. In Shevii we have two different topics. We have more than two, but the two I want to connect is Yibum, Levirate marriage, and Mechias Amalek, erasing the memory of Amalek. And the reason I want to make this connection is because when it comes to Yibum, a Levirate marriage, the pasuk says, "Lo yimacha shmo b'Yisrael." We want the brother to marry the wife of a brother who did not have children, in order that the original husband, brother, would not have his name blotted out from Yisrael. At the same time, it says a few psukim later in Parakafei Pasuk Yotes, so 13 psukim later, says V'timcha zecha Amalek, that you should blot out the memory of Amalek. So we have this timache and timche. One of them we don't want to lose the memory, and one of them we want to get rid of the memory. But there must be connection. I don't know exactly what it is, but maybe I can connect them somehow, or better yet, maybe you can contact me or post and give me your thoughts on the connection. So the first case by Yibum, Parak Hey Pasuk Vav. So basically, we don't want the memory of a childless man to be blotted out, because he wants to create. His goal was to create Bnei Yisrael for eternity, to have descendants and generation after generation. So that's a good thing, and we don't want someone who makes this effort to have his name erased and to be forgotten. There are exceptions where you don't do Yibum. Firstly, you don't do Yibum by someone who's an Eshes Saris, if the man was, we'll just leave it, can't have children, or the person was a Rasha or Mumor, he was very anti-Hashem in different ways. In those cases, we do not allow them. The Shulchan Aruch says that you have them do, the brother does chalitza on this wife of a mumar, and not to marry her, because we don't want his name to be continued on. We don't want to have that benefit of Yibum. So we have, so what is it by Amalek? Why do we want to blot out the name of Amalek? Because these are the people who wanted to come and destroy the Bnei Yisrael. We were untouchable after Egypt, and they broke that aura because they wanted to, blot us out for eternity. So therefore, we blot them out for eternity. Perhaps another way to connect them is, if you go back, what's the story of Amalek? Where did Amalek come from? So Timnah, who was a princess, so she wanted to connect to the family of Ram and Yitzchak, and she was turned away. But she said, even though I'm a princess, I'd rather be a maidservant or a pilegesh, a partial wife, into this family, some way or the other. And she joined by marrying Eliphaz, the son of Esav. The result of this was Amalek. What she ended up teaching Amalek was to ignore the Bnei Yisrael, to ignore the miracles of Hashem, because she was pushed away by the Avos, and perhaps the reason they didn't accept her was because she wasn't fit to join the nation. But maybe they shouldn't have pushed so hard. I'm not going to judge the Avos, but they ended up pushing her away, and this had this negative repercussions on purpose forever. But if we think about where do we learn the laws of Yibum, we learned actually from Boaz and Rus, that Boaz performed a replacement of, after Machlon passed away without children, so he married Machlon's wife as a relative to build up the name of the family, which, as we see, does not mean that you literally name the child necessarily after the deceased father, because the firstborn is the one that represents the continuity of the deceased, because he didn't name a Machlon, so you don't have to name it after the person, after the father. But we see by Rus, if you think about it, Rus, we try to push her away. She wanted to be Megayeres, and we said no. But she wanted to come, and she ended up eventually joining us. Guess who's going to come out of this union of Boaz and Rus? Mashiach, our Gula. So we have two different connections from way back. Timnah, who was pushed away and had negative repercussions and created Amalek and their negativity towards us, and the need to blot them out. And then on the other side of the coin, we learned the lesson that of Yibum from the situation with Rus and the loss of her husband before she had children, and coming from that marriage and being Mekayim the Mitzvah of Yibum, we will have the the Mashiach will come, and the Mashiach will come from here, be a menu. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and wonderful Shabbos.